Spent much of my working life trying to film big cats. I've watched them in the wild and analysed the footage in the editing room, which has given me a real insight into their behaviour. Today, we can see these amazing predators on our screens anytime we choose. But until quite recently, we knew practically nothing about them. Big cats are normally shy and very secretive. Today, their populations are shrinking fast. But now we have the means to view them in more detail than ever. And learn the intricacies of their lives. Which is just as well, because we need to find ways of living alongside them before they disappear forever. The largest of all the big cats, and perhaps the rarest, the tiger. This animal has almost completely disappeared from its former range. We've barely had the chance to discover it at all. Modern technology gives us the opportunity to reveal the real tiger before it's too late. We often think of the tiger as a creature of tropical forests, but actually its true home may well be in colder climes. In historic times, the tiger's range was vast, covering much of Asia. They were commonly found from the Russian Far East all the way to Turkey. Today, only 500 or so of these Siberian tigers survive in the Amur region of Russia. And at over 250 kilos, a quarter of a ton, this tiger subspecies is the largest of all cats. And with its luxuriant fur coat, it can withstand some of the coldest weather on Earth. Like other members of the cat family, tigers get their phenomenal strength from special muscle known as very fast twitch muscle. But the tiger also has more endurance muscle than the other big cats, so can sustain a long chase. Which is just as well. Here, much of the tiger's original prey has been hunted out. Eurasian elk and other deer only survive in low densities. Finding a meal requires extreme stealth and literally superhuman power. Today, Amur tigers inhabit an area of some 40,000 square miles, which works out at about 200 square kilometers per tiger. Just 200 years ago, there were hundreds of thousands of tigers in the world. Over the last century, they've experienced an almost total population crash. And at least 97% of those tigers have gone. Today, just under 4,000 remain. But not all of these tigers live as thinly spread as the Amur tigers. In the Terai Arc of India and Nepal, a few fragments of the tiger's original tall grassland habitat support the densest populations of tigers. And they share these tall grass savannas with some of the most endangered wildlife on the planet.
This habitat is very good, like a mosaic habitat. They have a grass. Here is a grass jungle, tall grass and water. This is a very good habitat for tiger also.
The few fragments of the Terai that still survive contain some of the most diverse habitats in Asia. A mixture of grasses, scrub, forest, swamp forest and river creates a richness and intensity of life that has all but disappeared. While these savannas may harbour the densest populations of tigers in the world, it isn't where most tiger films are made, for one very good reason. It's almost impossible to see tigers here at all. Grass and other thick vegetation obscures almost everything. Only the very biggest animals are visible. Wild water buffalo, the largest of all buffalo, are rarer even than tigers. At over a ton in weight, with huge tiger-ready horns, these would be a daunting prospect for the biggest of all cats. Even more massive than the buffalo are gaur, the closest wild relative of the extinct aurochs that tigers once hunted in the north. At over 2 meters high at the shoulder and 50% heavier than even the American bison, they dwarf domestic cattle. And yet, wherever gaur are found, they are definitely on the tiger's menu. I'm always amazed by the sheer audacity of cat hunting behaviour. They frequently tackle prey many times their own weight, with no apparent concern for their safety. The gaur's height gives them a good view over the grass. But once the herd panics, the tiger can take its pick. This isn't an animal that a lion could tackle on its own. And yet this tiger has brought down an animal 6 times her weight, and then drags it using only her teeth. Despite the tiger's incredible strength, there are animals in the Terai they should fear. Elephants can be a bit of a problem, terrorizing tigers whenever they meet them. The Terai is also where the world's last Asian one-horned rhino live. Once these animals were found over much of South and Southeast Asia. Now they exist only in a few reserves. But in the grasslands of the Terai, the rhino could be critical to the survival of tigers. At first, I thought it must be coincidence that the densest population of tigers in the world are all in areas that are inhabited by rhino. It seems an odd connection, since tigers only rarely kill rhino, but these are creatures of habit. They like to use exactly the same routes every day, making neat, wide paths as they go. So wherever there are rhino and elephants, which widen the roads, all the wildlife can move through dense grassland unhindered. Tiger footprints are frequently found on these rhino roads. The resulting network is as complex as any city, and just like in a city, if a tiger remembers a route, it can move quickly and efficiently from A to B. The combination of the trail-making megafauna, along with regular flooding which brings extra nutrients, allows this habitat to support large herds of potential tiger prey. For me, This is tiger country, where the world's biggest cats are living among some of the most dangerous and aggressive animals on Earth. It's a real privilege to spend time in this almost extinct wildlife community, looking for the tiger mother and her 2 almost full-grown cubs I was told were in the area. In the dry season, the grass is shortest and gives me the best chance of seeing a big cat. In this small corner of Bardia, there are so many tigers they have just 5 square kilometers per cat and are surviving on a fraction of the land area needed by their Russian cousins. But it doesn't mean they're easy to see. Waiting for days on a likely riverbank normally reveals an extraordinary parade of potential tiger prey and very few tigers. Spotted deer are the most numerous grazer here by far, and they're often joined by the critically endangered swamp deer, or barrasinga. Rhinos would make scarily close passes, and their visits, along with the antics of the smooth-coated otters, kept me awake during long stints in the heat. When not in the water, the otters love a bit of crop bothering. But tiger sightings were few and far between, and often too far away to see whether it was a tiger just passing through or one of the 3 I was looking for. Days would pass between visits. When a tiger did show itself, the pattern was usually the same. The sound of distant alarm calls of spotted deer would alert the other animals. Almost invisibly in the grass, a tiger was moving towards the water. The animals would react and clear the area before the tiger would suddenly appear on the bank. This looked like a young female, so was perhaps one of the family I was looking for. A young bull elephant paid no attention whatsoever, but she still gave him a warning just in case. So far, I've not seen any sign of hunting or a mother with 2 large cubs. But when all settled down, this cat immediately goes into stalking mode. And there's another tiger. The otters start to get nervous. The first tiger knows there's something there and hides. And now the second tiger appears, also a young female.